always a party at Patchworks. Let's get this party started. Woot, woot. Hi everyone, this is Julie from Patchworks, and I'm so excited that you're joining us for another Must Sew TV Thursday night. Tonight we are featuring our Moda University Club, which is our Patchworks curated club where we show you all sorts of really exciting new stuff. We'll also tell you other exciting things that are coming in the shop and other exciting things. So thank you for your patience last week. I know that we took a week off. I was on vacation, and you know what? I went fishing with Frank last weekend, and you know we were out and about and fishing, and I'm not a big fisher person at all, and I'm sorry, we're just having a titch of technical difficulties. I apologize. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can you turn that sound off?
Yes.
Thank you. Hi. Okay, so, you know, this is live. You never know what's happening here at Patchworks. So, Tammy's here on the keyboard watching all of our stuff, and Frank's behind, going to be sharing lots of good pictures with us. So, all right, so I was fishing last weekend, and I'm not that big of a fisher person, and you know, throwing out some lines, reeling them in, and on our last day of fishing, I wasn't very successful most of the time, but on our last day, I was like, Frank, I think I have a little bit of a problem. Maybe you can bring the net over. And you know, we're fishing for little itty bitty baby perchies, and Frank has a little photo here of what ended up on my line. So I don't know, the photos never do anything justice, but popping out of the water was the thing that was like about the size of a yardstick. It was a muskie. I had a muskie on my pole. It was so exciting, and so we were able to bring up the muskie. I didn't have a picture of it out of the water for you because I almost dropped my phone in the water. I was so excited, but I think we have a photo to share with you. So one of them that's in the water, and then another one as it's coming up, kind of looking at me, kind of like, ah. And then what I wanted to share with you as well is that I had a tiny, tiny, tiny little lure, and it's a little 1/8 ounce jig, tiny, and I don't know how I got it out because you can tell that the hook is even straight. So that's what I was up to. A little bit of time in the North Woods, got some sunshine and some relaxation. But enough about me. Let's talk about fabric, because I know that's why you are all here today. So we've been getting a ton of fabric in. If you haven't been in lately, oh my gosh, like while we were gone this past week, we got like a semi full of fabric, and Frank's nodding over there, might even be holding his heart a little bit. So lots of really exciting stuff to share with you. We're going to be talking about Tochi. We have holiday essentials for you. We also got Day in Paris in, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later. But let's go over to our overhead so that I can show you what our Fat 1/8 options are today. So our Fat 1/8 options that we have are Holiday Essentials Americana by Stacy Itsu. We have the Holiday Essentials Halloween. Oh my gosh, look at these super cute miniature little ghosties and skulls and bats, little cats. We have a grunge inspired Dance in Paris pack. And then we have Tochi by Debbie Maddie. For our color builders, we have 2 this month. So the new one for this month that is going to coordinate with our Aurifil pack is our orange. And so we go from light to dark with a little bit of dots and some stars. And then we've been filling in our grunge wall. So we do have the red, which was going to be from earlier this year. This way? Perfect. Were you able to see the last board?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we have 2 grunge colors, and then we have the other one. So 6 options, and of course, if there was something that you would prefer from our Moda buffet, we can also share that with you. So before we get started in a project, I thought that we would start by sharing with you all of the luscious fabrics in the Tochi collection. So let's look at the beautiful fabrics in the line. Now this does have several panels in it, and the panels are 6-inch squares. And for those of you that don't follow Debbie Maddie, she does these hand-dyed indigo beautiful fabrics, and then the screen prints are based on her original designs. So here I have a half panel to share with you. And so the half panel is a half a yard by width of fabric. And you can see the beautiful prints that we have here. I'll show you how we can use those panels later. And then we have beautiful indigos. And follow her on her blog. Oh my goodness, she tells you about all of her different adventures, and then she has new fabric reveals all the time. And a very interesting component of this line is going into the complementary colors here. And so we have this mustard, and here we have this panel again, okay, the same print. For our fat quarter tower, we are including half-yard panels. And then it goes into this chalk. And a repeat of the panel as well. So I know that many of you are accustomed to the indigos that she has to share, but these other colors are stunningly gorgeous and they work incredibly well together. So we have put together fat quarter towers that include fat quarters of the pieces in the line and then the half yards of the panel. We also have our half yard tower, which is the same thing, but instead we include the full yard repeat of the panel for you for that. And in her pattern, she calls that one panel. We have our panels available on the yard. So on the yard, on the bolts. So let me show you over here. So we have kept everything bolted so that you can purchase as much or as little as you needed, but we are selling on the block line there. So for this particular panel, what I think is incredibly interesting is that Debbie has a free and downloadable pattern, which our Moda Club members will receive a printed copy in their packet that they come to pick up. Tammy's posting a link for our pattern right there so that you can download it and play with it. And we have made a small version from our Fat 8th pack right here. So this is a simple, half square triangle pack quilt, and the full size quilt does measure 60 by 70, and you can get it from 3 panels and your background fabric, and you can either use her very favorite go-to of the Bella Solid of that white here. Her preferred color is 98, and then, or you could use it with that dark color of a black. As I said, we used our Fat 8th pack, But the cool thing about it is that these squares can be cut. They're 6-inch squares, so you can cut what you need. She cuts down 5 3/4-inch squares to turn into our half square triangle. Now we're not going to play with our half square triangles on how to make that. I know we've done that several times over the course of the year. But what I wanted to share with you is that in her printed pattern, she does offer some different options for how to place that. So I am going to, I should have taken my board off here so that Frank can share with you a different layout for our half square triangles that we played with. So there's an option of how we had laid out our half square triangles, and that was using 48 half square triangles, a 6x8 set. And in our finished version, we used just 36. We did a 6x6, so you can see the contrast there. And you can play, and that's why a half square triangle can be super versatile in how you're working with it. Because depending on how you arrange them, especially if you're working with different colors, you can get very, very different color quilts. So something else that's super exciting with this particular fabric line and this very simple quilt that is called Halfway Around the World is that this is the first of a motivational series. Get it? Motivation. Debbie Maddie has put together a special video sharing all of her tips and tricks for how she does this. It's a half-hour video, and she does everything from sharing how she marks her half square triangles, her favorite marking tools, how to press in her favorite way, and how to trim down. Everyone who buys panels gets one of these cards here so that you can get the special instructional card so you can watch this exclusive video. And of course, our Moda Club members do have access to that as well. So if you're not a Moda Club member, all you have to do is buy some panels from us and we will hook you up with one of these cards so that you too can watch this super cool video. But all of you have access to the free and downloadable pattern. Something else, because you know, I want to just tell you all of the things. Something else is that from the 6-inch squares, you are going to be cutting a 5-inch half square triangle that finishes to 4.5. Guess what? What does a 5-inch unfinished half square triangle pair perfectly with? Anyone? Anyone? 5-inch charm pack. So this is the perfect size if you want to swap with half square triangle or with charm pack squares. You absolutely can do that. Or if you want to extend it and have solids in your background, you can do that too. Just pick up a solid pack of Bella solids so that you can extend your quilt. So this is a project which is simple to make, and I am going to share one other learning trick with you. We're going to look at the overhead here, and I just want to share with you something that we did when we were making our quilt. So we were pairing our half square triangles together, and the way that this fabric is that it's a very saturated screen print, okay? Very saturated. Let me pick out one of these prints that we actually used here. I think it's this one here. Okay, so it's a very saturated screen print. And a lot of screen prints are very saturated. Sometimes there's a very definite right and wrong side. So this is the printed side, and this is the back side. Now, with the saturated color, you can see there's still a lot of ink that comes through. And when we put this together, we inadvertently sewed so that our right side was our back side. And you get a little bit more of a muted tone here. I thought with the style of fabric that we had, it actually was a very interesting, unique project, and I didn't want to toss it away because I wanted to give you the opportunity to see how there can be interesting uses of all parts of the fabric. Okay, like even when I'm using grunge, sometimes in the grunge I like to use the reverse side. Okay, so the reverse side of my grunge, this is my printed side of my grunge, right? My reverse side is just like a solid. So if you are searching at home for that perfect shade of something something and you aren't quite happy with what you have or what you think you have, try looking at the opposite side of the fabric, because you will be surprised what comes out of this. So I just wanted to share that with you, that before you ever get frustrated and toss away something that you think is a horrible mistake, reevaluate it, because maybe that mistake is something that is very interesting and can be an element of interest in your project. For our quilting here, we did do a very simple quilting with a walking foot here, where we stitched around. So we stitched in the ditch and then we stitched in the center. When you're doing this, you can just elongate your stitch a little bit so that it's not super tight, and it goes together super quick and you can be super done. Are there any questions on our fun project today? All right, Tammy says no questions yet. Feel free to ask any questions because Tammy's here. And we have the full line behind us. You can see we have the fat quarter towers, half yard towers, jelly rolls, charm packs, and 10-inch squares. So let us know if we can hook you up with any fabric. If you have any of Debbie's previous lines, like here we have a little bit of Shimu, blends really, really well. So her fabrics work backwards and forwards. Feel free to blend them all together. What else do I have for you today? Well, you can see that I have a gorgeous pillow. If you follow Moda on Facebook, over the 4th of July, you might have noticed that there was a posting for some really cool pillows that Carrie Nelson had put together. So Carrie Nelson is known for her pin pals and her pillows and lots of fun stuff. And her pin pals, let me just grab this book here. The pin pals here, can you see that? In here, and this is a book that we love, 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 you can see this cool patriotic pillow, or pin cushion. Okay, that's a tiny little pin cushion. These pillows are larger scale versions of that. So all of our club members are going to receive a printed copy of this. They are available online through the Moda Facebook page. However, anybody who comes in store, we'd be more than happy to give you a copy of the pattern. We did make some adjustments to it, and so we would have those adjustments available for you as well. For this pillow, we used our Moda Holiday Essentials by Stacy Itsu, the Patriotic Fat Eighth Pack, and then we added just a little bit so that we could border this out and do the binding. We used the rest of the blues for the back, and then we used one of these zippity-doo-duns to finish it off. It took a 20-inch pillow sham, and we also used some fusible fleece. For the stars here, these are made with some flying geese using the heart method for making that, and as I said, we have the full pattern for you for that. The other thing we did do in ours is that we didn't make this scrappy, since we had a limited palette that we were working with our fat eighth pack. We didn't want to chop it up. And so we just converted it to use the whole strips, which I think translated really well. And you can see this super cute fabric. We have some notes for how we put our zipper in, and I am going to walk you through some of the notes that Heidi had shared with us. So first what we're going to do is we're going to walk over to our overhead here so that you can see this up close here. So you can see the beautiful pillow here and around the stars. So we have 3 stars and then we have the stripes. And we did finish it off with a little border all the way around, and then we did a machine binding to put our layers together, which is a really great way. If you've never seen us do that before, it's a great way to finish your pillows. On the back side, we pieced together the rest of our strips and then put in one of these zippity-doo-duns. Now the zippity-doo-dun, if you've never seen this, is a product that is relatively new in the marketplace, made by June Taylor, and they are 18 inches long, and they are a zipper and casing all in one. So they have this fabric around it, so what you're able to do is just open up this binding. It's a finished edge binding. You just insert your fabric and then you edge stitch. So here we just did a simple edge stitch. If you wanted, you could do something decorative. You could put some ribbon on it. Now, one of the challenges that we had, especially with working something like this, like a 20-inch pillow, is that we have a little bit extra. So we're going to show you how we finished this off. And finishing this off like a tab like this is something that we often do in our cosmetic bags. So I'm going to share with you how we did that. The first thing that we did is we made some tabs here. So with the tabs that we made, we have given you the dimensions on the pattern that we have in store for you, and it's a single rectangle fabric that we literally tucked in 3 of the edges on. When we positioned the fabric, we had pieced together our, I actually showed you, I'm sorry, this one too soon. I'm just over by Frank here. Here we go. So the first thing that we did is that we pieced together our edges, and you can see that we wanted to make it to be the same size as our pillow top. And then we have, what we did is we pinned the center. You can see that ever so slightly in the center there, and then we have the zipper laying on top. We inserted the zipper and when we inserted the zipper, you can see that there's a little bit of a gap on the top and the bottom. So then what we did is that we literally took our little tab that we made and we laid it on the edge, okay? And when we laid it on the edge, what that did is that it just gave us the ability to be able to edge stitch around it, okay? And then we finished out with a beautiful rectangle like this. And after your rectangle is together, you are able to simply put your wrong sides together and finish it out and insert your pillow, and it turns out really, really nice. So if you've never bound a pillow, I highly recommend it. And if you are looking for an easier way for putting your zippers in your pillows, try that zippity-doo-dun. It works really great. It's available in 6 different colors. We have it in red, beige, navy, white, gray, and black. On the inside here, we have our fusible fleece, and we didn't have a lining. If you wanted to make it fancy, you absolutely can put in a lining. However, you know, for these decorative pillows that you just change in and out, no need to put in a lining and waste additional fabric. So let us know if you have any questions on that. Now, I do have some trivia questions for you. All right, so we are going to make you think back to the beginning of the show to see if you were watching it all. And the first question for the day is, what kind of fish did I catch last week? So please make sure that you enter in. You can answer to Facebook here. You can send me an email. Make sure your answer is in by 5 o'clock on Friday, and then Saturday morning we'll do a drawing. And the winner of the fish question is going to get, what are they going to get? Oh my goodness, they are going to get one zippity-doo-dun. So you want to make sure you listen to the beginning of our video to find out what kind of fish that I caught. For this fabric that we have in store, I don't have it behind me. It's over in our patriotic area. We also have this cool row by row quilt that's a box kit. I might have shown you in one of the other videos, but I know I didn't have it last Moda. So this is a 55 by 65 inch finished kit. It retails for $115.99. You have everything that you need for the top and the binding. I also have for this line a fat quarter tower of the whole piece. We'll take a peek at all the fabric in just a second. And I have jelly rolls, layer cakes, charm packs, and half-yard towers. Now let's delve a little bit deeper into all of the fabric. Come on and let's check it out. So in this line we have 20 different fabrics, and I really like the scale. A lot of the times our seasonal fabrics are larger scale, and sometimes that's hard if you're making smaller things like table runners and placemats. So for home decor things, this works out really, really well. You have the little flags, some great stars, some pinwheels. I love this stripe. It's printed on the diagonal. It works really great for bindings. You have our red backgrounds as well. Great stars, great dots, fireworks. We have some light blues. And then we have some darker blues. So Stacy did a really great job. I love that we have these smaller, tighter collections so that of these holiday essentials that work really well, not only all by themselves, but even with things that you have. I also like these bright colors because for summery stuff, we need bright and cheery things. Okay, so did anybody get to see any fireworks over this past month? It's fun to get out and see some fireworks. While we're at the overhead board, I'm going to share with you the Halloween fabric line by Stacy. And this has 20 fabrics as well. And we have little baby cats, skulls, bats, in a black background, pumpkins. And Stacy, if you're not familiar with her other fabric, she does a lot of kids type of prints. Of course, they can be used by anyone. They don't have to be just kids. But I love, love, love these small scales. I mean, look at these cats. Aren't they adorable? Can you see that? Okay. Frank's nodding. He loves the little cats. Little cat heads. Those are his favorite. So that is the holiday Halloween. And do we have pre-cuts in this one? Not in store. Okay. So we do have the towers. I need to check. I probably should have checked before. This may or may not have had other pre-cuts associated with it, which may or may not be coming. So, how's that for an answer? We've had so much fun stuff coming in, and I know several of you have asked me. I'm like, let me check on that, because sometimes we just got to check. All right, so I have a question. And so let me hear what the question is. So Tammy's going to tell me the question, and then I'll repeat it for you.
Nicole is wondering if we are getting pumpkins and blossoms by Fig Tree.
Nicole wants to know if we are getting pumpkins and blossoms by Fig Tree. I don't believe we are. I will verify that in the comments below. I know we have a little bit of the Fig Tree Halloween, the autumnal basic that had come in from last year, and I will double check on that. For those of you that have been curious, that kind of leads me into another thing, is that just like the rest of the world, if you're curious that we haven't gotten in more holiday fabric, we have gotten in quite a bit of holiday fabric, but most of the traditional holiday fabrics from Moda haven't shipped yet. So don't worry, they're coming, and we'll share them with you. Any other questions?
Yeah, Black Cat Caper Panel.
Black Cat Caper Panel. That is this Kathy Schultz?
Yes.
Okay, Kathy, the panel that we have, which is an apron panel, that is the panel that we are getting for the line. We are not getting that border print as well. While I love the apron panel, I am surprised there might have been a little mix up when we ordered it, that we got the apron instead of the other panel. But I'm really curious how we could use that apron panel and cut it to be the center of your quilt. So think outside the box, and then you could use those fun mitts for some other blocks that you could just cut out, because that print isn't available anywhere else. So I think you still might really like that panel. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, so feel free to keep asking questions along the way so we can have this be interactive and you get everything that you need out of our presentation. All right, so we just got the Holiday Essentials Christmas and Holiday Essentials Valentine's. So there were 4 different Holiday Essentials packs that Stacy had released. These 2 we don't have fully ready to show you yet. Of course, if you have been chomping on the bit for a project, feel free to let us know. We can hook you up. I don't think these are online yet. So they will be shortly, and if there's something that you needed, of course, make sure to ask us and we can make sure you get some. Okay. Now, a fabric line that I do have behind me that was not one of our options is Dance in Paris. So Dance in Paris has been a long anticipated fabric line, and I will show you all the different pieces. You can zoom in, sure. So we have some really cool fabrics here, and I will show you all the different pieces as well from it. It goes really well with her other fabric lines. Bridget has a sew-along that she had done a little bit earlier, but it was done before the fabric got here, and so now that the fabric is here, she is repeating the quilt along, which is super exciting. We have fat quarter towers that you can get started and participate with her quilt along. Tammy is going to put on a link to Bridget's blog so that if you were interested in this super fun quilt along, you could hop along with it. So let's take a deeper look into our Dance in Paris fabric. So Zen Chic, Bridget from Zen Chic, she's a Moda designer from Germany, and so her style is very contemporary and very European. There's a titch of metallic in here, and it's a pearlescent metallic, so it's not the old style metallic, it's that super trendy metallic here. And so she goes from the whites to grays. Now this spotted is a basic line that we carry in the store, but these spotteds have that bit of metallic in it. Greens, just very interesting. And I just have to open this up because if you haven't seen, it's just scattered. So scattered plus signs here. And I love this. Everything is better when you dance, and I couldn't agree more. Can come to Patchworks for the Patchworks dance party. Sometimes after 4 o'clock, we just start dancing when you least expect it. I might say that this background, this navy here, is my favorite colorway of this. Look at that. Such vibrant colors. I could see just taking this piece of fabric and turning it into a pillow. No piecing required. Very eclectic style. So there are 40 pieces, 35 pieces in this line. We do have the entire collection. We did get short bolts on this, so if you were looking to get any of it, contact us sooner than later. We have it available in store and online. Feel free to always, if you don't like to order online, you can always just message us, call us. We will get you your fabric however you would like to get it. All right, so that's our Dance in Paris. What else do I have to show you? I feel like I have a whole store of things to show you. I think it's time for another trivia question. What do you think? Yes, it's time for another trivia question. So, how many different holidays are represented in Stacy Tsu's Holiday Essentials? Do, 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 do. So, and the winner of that is going, or a randomly drawn name who has the correct answer for that will win. What are you going to win? You are going to win 2 fat quarters from, so in a beautiful ribbon from that Holiday Essential collection. So that's very exciting. All right. Now, I think we should do some show and tell because you guys have been really, really busy. And if you haven't already joined, I highly recommend that you join our Patchworks party. It's our community group where we share show and tell and are able to encourage each other. Right now, there's just been a lot of show and tell. Sometimes we have other discussion that happens along the way. So I'm going to hop over and I am going to share with you some of the things that we have to see. So first up, we have a beautiful drawstring bag that Diane put together. This is a knitting tote based on the drawstring pattern that we had available last month for our show. And I love, Diane, that you used the canvas. Good job, and love those beads. Sally put together a really great tote bag. Love the safari look. Cindy did a different take. This is the month of the totes. Cindy did a different take on our knitting bag, and I love how it went together, and you did a great job quilting it. Cindy also made this super great table runner, and she used her Fat Eighth pack from last month, but then she followed along with the Primitive Gatherings, American Gatherings quilt along, which is available from Lisa Bonjean, our neighbor to the north. Carol, oh my goodness, Carol, you got this all finished up. This is Carol Jameson's latest finish. Great job. Good job. Betsy has been busy. She played with her break of day. So we have her table runner that she made using the block and the chicken pattern from the pattern we shared last month. And here's an up close of that block. You can see, and she also did a spectacular job playing with her quilting. She did a combination of serpentine and some ruler work and some free motion quilting in there. So great job. I think everybody is making totes this month. So Denise made this fun tote that used a panel square and made some flying geese. You know, just playing with different techniques to make fun bags. So this is the front, and this is the back. Great job, Denise. Cheryl made this super cute panel quilt. And Joanne, she brought her granddaughter to the shop, and her granddaughter fell in love with this sample that we have hanging in the store and went home and made it super quick. Good job. We do have kits available still in store. Judy made this beautiful classic here that is a log cabin with stars in the cornerstones and a flying goose border. Great job, Judy. Kathy, we're going to start with the back because, you know, the backs are just as great as the front. So Kathy likes to make her quilts reversible, and this is a beautiful patriotic quilt using the American Gatherings fabric. This is the back, and here is the front. Great job, Kathy. Diane loves to make pillows. And this is a pillow that she made, her most recent finish. She likes to play with some different quilting as well. So this is the front, and here is the back. All right. Next show and tell, our very own Karen made this really amazing bag. And I should have paid attention to see which pattern she used. But she used a bunch of different, very decorative effects, and I love how she used the selvage in her pockets. Beautiful. And we're just going to take a look at a few of the different decorative elements in this bag. So here's a side look, and you can see how she has her water bottle in there, in the gusseted side. And here is another beautiful look of the front. Great job, Karen. Thanks so much for sharing with us. Carrie did a conversion of the tree skirt into the play mat. Love, love, love it, using our Fat Eighth packs, and she made a coordinating tote. Let's take a peek at her tote more up close. This is the outside of the bag, and let's take a peek at the inside. And the inside is here, and she has even a split in there. And let's just look at this playmat up front. So the playmat here uses a total of 2 fat eighth packs, or 16 fat eighths, and one of the Quilt As You Go June Taylor tree skirts. And we used our bias binding for ease of use. Linda's been planning a summer of adventure with her granddaughter, and she made 2 fun little travel pillows here. And her granddaughter took one of Stacy Sue's little create as you go panels and turned it into this really fun little sloth purse. So great job. I love it when you come to the store. Congratulations on your big finish. Kathy put together the box kit from American Gatherings, gorgeous quilt, and finished up with this fun little table runner. Great job. And new Patchwork Party member, Sue, has been sewing up a storm with all sorts of really fun bags. So I'm so excited to see new members joining in, sharing their beautiful work. Here are some of the individual bags to share with you. And one more. Great job. Sally. Now this is a Debbie Maddie. This is older line, but it's gorgeous, and it was winter themed, so you can see those beautiful snowflakes in there. I could see you using the same pattern to feature these other newer block panels. Thanks, Sally, for sharing that. And Sarah has her most recent finish. We have a couple different looks of that. So this is a full view. We got to see the back first, and then we're going to see a little up close of her quilting in there. Oh my goodness, just so inspirational. Thank you so much for all of your great work. So we are going to, we have our names here, so I promise we'll do our little drawing for this before we end tonight. Now, one of our other show and tells that I have to share with you is Heidi had made from one of our fat stacks that we put together. She made a yellow brick road. It's not Moda, but I have to share this with you. And look at this, isn't it great? It's clipped together, so I'm only going to show you half of it. She put a border on it. And you know, it's that yellow brick road. It just keeps giving and giving. I love this pattern. And we have penguins going every which way. You can see this. She's letting us hang it in the shop. And Angie quilted it up with a really great snowflake pattern. It is the yellow brick road pattern right here. And this is the fat stack, and we have that available in store. So that's really exciting. Also love whenever you come and show and tell in person. So love to see it, even if we're not meeting in store. So what are some other fun stuff that we have? We have some super cool tins. Let's come over to our overhead. We have some new tins. Ooh. So, in our tins here, you can hear that these are metal tins. They have these great handles, and I'm going to open it up. The larger handled tins are $12. And you can see they can just hold your treasures. So you are so wonderful. You can see them here. And then we have smaller tins that can hold your pins. They can hold little mini charms. They can hold candy. They're great for M&Ms. So we have pins, and so lovely. And this one right here, and I could also see you using it to hold your little safety pins and put a little mini sewing kit together. So really nice, great quality. You can collect them all. The small size, I believe, is $4.50. Large size is $12. And we have them in store here. Great gifties. $4.50. Yeah, $4.50 for the small. Okay. And someone had come in to grab a few, and so, you know, this is a great gift item for your sewing bee groups that get together and you're looking for a small item to share in a fun gift exchange if you are meeting this summer for a fun picnic. Then we have some new wide backs. Oh, this is really exciting. So if you didn't know, we carry lots of wide backs in the store, and we have them on hangers here, okay? So if you don't see the giant bolts floating around, it's because we cut all of them and put them on sample hangers here so that you don't have to carry them around and you can just color match. So we have some speckled. These are brand new. They have a little bit of metallic in it. So those of you who are a little bit more contemporary in your sewing, we have 4 different colors here. We have the navy, and we have the black. The black has this little bit of copper in it. We have the dove gray. The dove gray has gold, that matte gold metallic. And then we also have the white gold. So this is great in contemporary. It could also be used in a holiday. Options are endless. 108 wide. Could also finish the edges and turn this into a really great tablecloth. So we have this available on the bolt, $18.99 a yard. And all you need to do is grab the hanger, bring it to the cutting table, and then we cut the yardage that you need so that you don't have to struggle with the larger bolt. We also carry a large selection of grunges, thatched, and other coordinating Moda line wide backs in our wide back selection. So you'll want to check those out. Then I did also want to share with you, we have fat 1.5 yard packs of the Adorn by Rashida Coleman Hale, and I have to share this with you. We did get the pre-cuts of this here, so you have to check this out. The speckleds go really well with this fabric line, and very vibrant and graphic. We have a 1/2 yard fat 1/4 tower, very vibrant and beautiful. Love the hands. Sometimes it's hard to see them when they're all just in the packs. These ladies are just gorgeous. And you can see that this hash here has the broken thread I love the story behind that design. And then all tied. So there is no metallic in, actually there's just a tinge of metallic in a few of the prints. A lot of the colors work really well with her speckleds and with her previous lines. And then there are a few new colors of this as well. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And you can see how these speckleds would work really well with the line. So we have that in store and online. So we just have the pre-cuts available of this. We do not have any yardage available of this gorgeous line. All right. We also have other lines that we had been sharing. Make sure to take a peek at some of the things that we had shared last month. I know this summer's been really busy with traveling and things. We did get Pearl, which we showed you some of the show and tell last month, and a whole bunch of other fabrics, including this really fun kitty corn. We still have just a couple of these big panels left. So this is the fabric line by Urban Chicks. The big panel every year that she comes out with these big graphic panels, they fly off the shelf. They're collector's items. So make sure if you wanted the kitty in any scale that you pick them up sooner than later, because they are not going to last long. Oh my goodness, so much to do. So I think we did 2 trivia questions so far. So let us do trivia question number 3. How does that sound? Trivia question number 3. All right, what is the name of Debbie Maddie's most current fabric line? And the winner of this is going to get 1 row of her panel. So 1 row of the 6-inch squares. All right. Are there any questions here? No questions today. Okay. So I have a lot of other new fabrics to show you, but I'm not going to show you right now because otherwise we'd be here till midnight. So what you want to do is that you want to make sure that you can stop in to see all of the great fabric. We will be doing a short video on Saturday morning to be able to share it with you a little bit more. Also, if you happen to be in town and wanted to come by on Saturday, we will be doing, we'll have a few different demo things to show you with the half square triangle that we showed you this month, as well as showing you about the zippity doo-duns. So you want to check that out, and there may be a couple other fun surprises. So come on down if you are in town. All right, now for our drawing for show and tell, we are going to draw for, oh, I didn't grab it. I left it in back, so I'm not going to tell you by showing you. We have a goodie from Moda, which is super awesome, and you'll be excited about it. Okay. The winner of the show and tell drawing for a super cool prize is Denise Arsberger. So congratulations, Denise. Thank you so much for sharing. Make sure that you all share, because if you're able to share, we can make you be eligible for a fun prize. Thanks so much for tuning in tonight. I hope you had fun. We always have lots of fun with you, lots of great inspiration We like to see you every Thursday night. Lots going on. We will be sharing our preempted version of My Favorite Color is Moda later in the month. So don't worry, we haven't forgotten about it. Check out the Moda blog post that we put on that if you wanted to get more inspiration on that particular quilt. We still do have patterns available for that. As always, happy quilting, and we'll see you soon.